In the headlines, 2 locals are linked to a brutal and near-fatal crime. Nash County Sheriff's Office say they have another man added to their top 10 most wanted list. And deputies in Nash County bust a couple believed to be involved in a prescription drug fraud. That's in today's crime report. We'll also have coverage of the latest in the debate to bring a chicken processing plant to Nash County. These stories and more coming up on NewsBreak starting now.
From WHIG-TV, this is NewsBreak 31. Now, here's Marie Torres.
Hello, and thanks for watching WHIG-TV NewsBreak, your voice in the community. I'm Marie Torres. Despite a push to wait before approving new lingo for a rezoning policy in Nash County, the council gives the go-ahead. We'll bring you an up-to-date on the latest developments in the debate on whether Nash County should welcome in the 4th largest chicken processing plant in the nation. That in just a moment, but first in our crime report. 2 locals are linked to a brutal and near-fatal crime. According to Rocky Mount Police, around 5 o'clock Sunday morning, 28-year-old Aaron Brent Simmons of Wilson and 30-year-old Amanda Louise Spencer, not pictured here, allegedly forced their way into their friend's home on Williford Street, then attacking him. The 2 reportedly attempted to strangle their 29-year-old male victim with a dog collar. Thankfully, he was able to escape. The motive may have been money, as the suspects allegedly stole funds, a phone, and the victim's car. At the time of this report, Simmons and Spencer had yet to be located, but police did recover the victim's car at the Days Inn on North Wesleyan Boulevard. They will face charges of common law robbery and assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill, among other crimes. If you know their whereabouts, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers at 252-977-1111. Police say they caught a registered sex offender with now a new list of crimes against him. Recently, Rocky Mount Police say they arrested 29-year-old Jonathan Raymond Knight of Wilkinson Street after he allegedly ran a stop sign. Upon further investigation, police say they found a .22 caliber rifle in his home. Knight was charged with sexual offender residential restriction in reference to living within 1,000 feet of a school. He was additionally charged with reckless driving, resisting a public officer, driving while license revoked, and fictitious registration. Nash County Sheriff's Office says they have another man added to their top 10 most wanted list. The Sheriff's Office says they're looking for this man, 49-year-old Archie Smalls. Smalls is wanted for failure to report change of address to law enforcement, which as a sex offender he is required to do. He was jailed for sexual battery against a 6-year-old back in 2009. Smalls is a black male standing 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighs 190 pounds. His last known address was in the Days Inn Hotel in Gold Rock. If you know where he is, you're asked to contact Nash County Sheriff's Office at 252-459-4121. And along with the State Bureau of Investigation, deputies in Nash County's bust a couple believed to be involved in prescription drug fraud. According to Detective Wotton with Nash County Sheriff's Office on February 4th, their narcotics division received information regarding individuals possibly forging prescriptions from prescription pads stolen from doctors in the Nash and Wilson County area. This investigation led to the search of a home of Ennis and Krista Clark at 9280 Midway Road in Bailey. There, investigators say they found more than 900 prescription pills stolen doctors' pads and written prescriptions waiting to be filled. It's believed the 2 have been involved in prescription drug fraud since January 2008. The husband and wife were arrested with a minimum of $100,000 bonds each. When we return on NewsBreak, we'll have the latest on Nash County's decision to rezone an area believed to favor the welcoming of a disputed chicken processing plant. But first, here's your Black History Facts. Here are your Black History Facts. Otis Boykin invented electronic control devices for guided missiles, IBM computers, and the control unit for a pacemaker. Comedian Bill Cosby's 1984 sitcom, The Cosby Show, became the highest-ranking sitcom for 5 years in a row. The program aired for 8 years.
You waited patiently. Now it's time. Clearance time at Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount. Hundreds of brand new Hondas, all tagged with the year's lowest prices, with savings up to $6,000 and a lifetime warranty on every vehicle. But hurry, because at Davenport Honda, these deals are the one thing that won't last forever. Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount, your dealership for life.
When it's happening to you, you'll hear from us. WHIG TV Newsbreak is reporting on the news, issues, and stories that matter to you. Call us at 252-885-1814. Email us at marie.whigtv@gmail.com or check us streaming live at whigtv.com. We're your voice, ready to bring you the news.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Thanks for staying tuned to WHIG TV Newsbreak. I'm Marie Torres. Yesterday, we were there to hear out countless views from area citizens as well as local community leaders on their stance on whether Nash County's Board of Commissioners should bring in Sanderson Farms. Here's our coverage. Where local government and concerned citizens are here to continue the battle over whether the fourth largest chicken processing plant in the nation, Sanderson Farms, will come to this area. With several items on the agenda at Monday's meeting, one particular ongoing debacle brought in the crowd. Before going into the explanation of the amendments to the county's Unified Development Ordinance, or the UDO, approved by the county's planning board, the council allowed general public comment. People for Sanderson Farms coming in were more in attendance than in prior meetings, stating that with high unemployment, we should not refuse a company that is hoping to bring in 1,100 jobs to the area.
The Chamber has approximately 750 member businesses. We received a little over 300 responses to our survey. 75% of our members felt the Chamber should support the facility. Only 8% of our members felt the Chamber should oppose the facility. Numerous comments were received from our members with their responses. Some expressed concern that environmental issues raised would need to be addressed and responsible practices followed in connection with the facility. We have confidence this is taking place. The prevailing sentiment expressed by our members, as evidenced by the almost 10-to-1 ratio of our membership that expressed strong support, even in the early stages of the process, was that 1,100 jobs for people in Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson counties, with the wages and insurance benefits that would be offered, and the commensurate relief to our strained unemployment and Medicaid burdens, made this project a desirable one for our area.
William Daugherty, a Wilson resident, said he apologizes for his own local government for their opposition of Sanderson Farms and says more Wilson citizens feel the same way.
The other citizens of Wilson support for the allowance of Sanderson Farm to come into our area. As the man that just spoke before me has stated, it would bring 1,100 jobs or possibly more to the area, and these jobs are very necessary in both counties. In Wilson County, we are suffering from over 10% unemployment, and the poor are very pushed and hurt by the unavailability of jobs. And this is a primary requirement. This is something that the nation is suffering from also. It is very important that these jobs be allowed to come into our area and our communities to help support the poor. Also, I know that the Wilson County and Wilson City administration has been against this company, Sanderson Farms, coming into the area, but their basis is, I think, a fear factor of what they're trying to present. You know, it's like the Chicken Little theory, the sky is falling, but the sky is not falling.
Even so, those who are against Sanderson Farms still came and made their voice known.
Following questions. Am I convinced that my county commissioners and other commissioners have our best interest at heart? No. This has become even more noticeably evident after learning that you commissioners are considering omitting the special use clause from the zoning ordinance. Found. Am I of the strong opinion that the historical slogan, taxation with no representation, adequately describes this horrible situation? Yes, precisely.
I want to first of all address the issue that the gentleman from Wilson just brought up, that water was not affected. In August of 2003, in Bryan, Texas, Sanderson was fined $20,400 for violating permits. It exceeded its effluent limits, and it failed to prevent an unauthorized discharge. In January 2006, Bryan, Texas, Sanderson was fined for violating wastewater discharge permit. They paid the fine and they made improvements. Between March 2006 and November 2009, Sanderson received 7 notices of violations. According to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, the Bryan plant reported 3 effluent violations. September 18, 2009, wastewater came within 2 inches of going over a berm behind the plant. And do you know what Sanderson did? They brought in trucks of dirt to cover it up.
We'd like to mention that at least 2 Rocky Mount City Council members voiced their approval of the plant coming in, as well as the president of North Carolina Wesleyan College, some unemployed citizens, and business owners.
All I know is this. You're concerned about environmental justice? Well, come with me to West End Terrace. Come with me to South Rocky Mountain. Come with me to Happy Hill. Come with me to some of the communities that I work with and recruit students from. And you'll see communities that have declined and decayed. And you don't have people lining up coming to City Council advocating for those communities. You don't have people lining up looking to see how they can provide jobs for those people. Well, that's what I'm doing today. And what I decided to do was take the face of a person who would work at Sanderson and not make it nebulous. But I want to show you people who do want to work. They don't work. They don't not work because they don't desire not to work. They don't have jobs because there's little opportunity for them to have jobs. And just because there's high turnover doesn't mean that it's not desirable. It might mean that you're preparing an opportunity for people to enter the workforce. They get exposed to things that they might like to do and might not like to do, and then they move on to something different. That's not a bad thing.
And I'm here today on behalf of people my age, and not just people my age, all the people who are unemployed. I don't think it's fair that people can come up there and say, oh well, I got a house and I don't want it to be damaged because of a air situation. Well, me, I say this. I can take you to Enfield right now, and I got a whole lot of people my age that can tell you they need jobs, and they can't even get the opportunity.
All in all, the main issues that rested in today's meeting were that Sanderson Farms could bring in more than 1,000 jobs. Sanderson Farms could also pollute our air and water resources. Sanderson Farms could help spark our economic growth, or Sanderson Farms could further help classify our region as underdeveloped with low skills and low-paying jobs. In the end, Council did approve the amendments of the UDO despite much confusion. Again, the area to be rezoned is in the southern part of the county near Interstate 95 and NC 97. According to graphs made available, it does seem the area, once approved for rezoning in November, has slightly expanded, despite some citizens urging council to hold off on approving amendments if they did not fully understand them, which included wording of industrial classifications such as rendering and slaughtering for the use of special use permits. Council still voted to approve them. Currently, the county faces a lawsuit by the city of Wilson in regard to Nash's alleged favoritism to bring in Sanderson Farms. The amendments were said to ward off a second lawsuit. As always, we'll be bringing you the most up-to-date developments in this story. Up next, it's a look at the local forecast, and it's our Pet of the Week. Stay with us for more Black History Facts. Louis Armstrong brought his first cornet at the age of 7 with money he borrowed from his employers. He taught himself to play while in a home for juvenile delinquents. Mae Jemison became the first black female astronaut in 1992.
You waited patiently. Now it's time. Clearance time at Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount. Hundreds of brand new Hondas, all tagged with the year's lowest prices, with savings up to $6,000 and a lifetime warranty on every vehicle. But hurry, because at Davenport Honda, these deals are the one thing that won't last forever. Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount, your dealership for life.
We're your news team, bringing it home to you with meteorologist Fred Holdsworth, anchor Marie Torres, sports reporter Edward Green, and Matt Havitt, our studio guy. WHIG TV Newsbreak, your voice in the community.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
And we're back with 2 for 1. Here's our Pet of the Week.
This is Rue and this is Pooh Bear, and they both are fosters with Friends of Rocky Mount Animals here in Rocky Mount. And Pooh Bear came to us from a shelter. He was, his owner died, and he was tied to a tree and by his family members that were left, and he was attacked by a dog, and his eye got injured and had to be removed. So now he's fully vetted, his eyes been treated, and he's all ready for a forever home, and he's just a true love bug. Rue came from the Nash County Animal Shelter. She came in pregnant and had to be spayed for her health. And she is ready for a new home. She's probably about 6 to 8 months old. She is fully vetted, and she's just a sweetheart too. Contact Friends of Rocky Mount Animals at 4animalsnc.petfinder.com and fill out an application. and go from there. And it's all on the internet. And we do have the Prevent a Stray program for anybody that wants to reduce cost spay or neuter certificate with reduced cost medical, and they can call 314-7907 and talk to Laura and see about getting that. And that's a great program too. And like I said, just visit the website, and there's tons of them constantly coming and going.
All right.
All the shelters.
Okay, well, good. And again, we have Rue.
This is Rue. And that's Pooh Bear. And that's Pooh Bear's a purebred Pomeranian. And Rue is just a little terrier mix.
All right. Thanks, ladies. Now here is our look at the days ahead in weather with WHIG TV meteorologist Fred Holdsworth. Fred?
And hello, everyone. Here we are on Tuesday, February the 8th, and a better day shaping up than what we had yesterday. Yesterday a little bit on the damp side, but now we're going to be going into some sunshine, and that should last for a day, probably a day and a half, and then we will see more precipitation headed our way as the storm passes well to the south of us, but still gives us enough precipitation to give us a little bit of snow, although it won't be a major event, or at least it doesn't look to be one right now. Let's take a look at our forecast map and we'll see what's going on. First of all, we have the storm that was with us yesterday well up into the state of Maine now, moving past New England and up into Maine, and that will be moving on into the maritime provinces of Canada, producing some rather heavy snowfall in that area. Snow will be stretching all the way down into northeastern Pennsylvania and northern New Jersey. Then another area of snow stretching from the Great Lakes all the way over to West Virginia, and this snow coming off the Great Lakes area. But for our area in the southeast today, a pretty good day, not too cold. We'll be in the low 50s or near 50 today, and that will seem warm as compared to what we've been having over the past few weeks. Then as we go out to the west, winter storm warnings are up in Oklahoma, northern Texas, and Colorado for a potentially heavy snowfall event in that area. And this is a storm that is going to be moving our way, but it will pass well to the south and east of us, so that only a small percentage of that precipitation will make it into our area. High pressure over the northern tier of states and in Nebraska, giving them a rather pleasant but cold day in the upper Great Plains. Then high pressure over British Columbia, giving them a respite from what has been a very wet winter for them. And rain will be found along the coast from Oregon northward into the state of Washington. Well, let's take a look now at our forecast and see what we can expect for the rest of the week and going into the weekend. Sunny today with a high of 49, northwest wind at 15 miles per hour. Tonight clear with a low of 22, a northwest wind at 5. For Wednesday, partly cloudy with a high of 44 and a west wind at 6. Wednesday night cloudy with a chance of snow developing late Wednesday night with a low of 29 and a north wind at 5 miles per hour. For Thursday, mostly cloudy with a chance of snow during the morning, a high of 44, north wind at 6. Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low of 26. Friday, sunny with a high of 47. Friday night, partly cloudy with a low of 27. And for Saturday, as we go into the weekend, sunny with a high of 52 and a low of 30 Saturday night. Our high temperature yesterday, 54. Our low this morning, 41. And 0.03 of an inch of rain at our weather station during the past 24 hours. And that's a look at your Rocky Mount weather. Now back to you.
Thanks, Fred. And thank you for watching NewsBreak today. Join us Thursday as we continue to bring you news that's impacting our community. For WHIG TV, I'm Marie Torres. We'll see you next time.